Are you trying to make ends meet? This is James with Net News Ledger, and today we're going to talk about a side hustle. Many are doing it. Are you?
All right, let's dive right in. Side hustles. They're everywhere, right?
Yeah, seems like it.
Especially in Canada these days, everyone's got one, or at least thinking about it.
Right.
And honestly, I get it.
Yeah,
Times were, well, a little wild out there.
for sure.
So we're diving deep today into the world of the side hustle, eh? Figure out what's driving this whole thing, why it's such a big deal right now, and what kind of options are even out there.
Yeah.
For anyone listening who's thinking, hey, maybe that's for me.
Absolutely.
Now, this text here really lays out the landscape of side hustles in Canada, why they're booming, some popular choices, all that good stuff.
Right.
So let's break it down, shall we?
Let's do it.
First things first, why?
The why is a big one, isn't it?
Huge. Why are so many Canadians jumping on this side hustle train?
Well, a lot of it boils down to the economy, honestly.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Everything costs more these days. I feel it, you feel it.
Right. Inflation is a big factor. Things are getting more expensive, but a lot of people aren't seeing their paychecks keep up.
Yeah. Got to make ends meet somehow, right?
Exactly. And then there's the housing market, especially in those big cities.
Don't even get me started. It's outrageous.
It's wild. So those costs really push people to look for extra income just to stay afloat,
Totally. But it's not just about needing more cash, right? I mean, this text also talks about people wanting more flexibility.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge part of it, too. People are craving more control over their time and their work. They want to be their own boss, set their own hours, maybe even build something of their own, something they're passionate about.
It's a whole different mindset about work.
Totally. And it's pretty exciting to see that shift happening.
Okay, so we've got the why down,
Yeah.
economic pressures, yeah,
Yep.
but also this desire for flexibility, freedom.
Exactly.
Now, I'm curious, what are people actually doing? What kind of side hustles are we talking about here?
Well, some are diving right into the gig economy. Those apps, Uber, Lyft.
Oh yeah, those are everywhere.
Yeah,
See those stickers all the time.
exactly. Ride sharing and food delivery are super popular. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, all that.
Yeah, makes sense. Easy to get started.
Right.
But I bet there's more to it than just driving around.
Yeah.
What about like online stuff, for people who are a little more techie?
Oh, tons. Online freelancing is exploding. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr connect businesses with freelancers who can do just about anything: writing, editing, graphic design, web development, you name it.
Wow, that's amazing. So you could be sitting on a beach in Bali, working on a website for some company in Toronto.
Potentially. It's all about having the skills and the right platform to connect with clients.
I love that. That freedom is incredible. Okay, so gig work, online freelancing. What else? What about people who are more, entrepreneurial?
Ah, yeah. You've got the folks who are launching their own e-commerce businesses.
Oh, like Etsy.
Etsy, exactly, for handmade goods. Or Amazon for reselling. Some even build their own storefronts on platforms like Shopify.
That's so cool.
It really is. The barriers to entry for starting your own business are lower than ever these days.
And even if you're not super techie, there's still options, right?
Totally. You could be a tutor or a teacher, online or in person. Pet sitting and dog walking are always in demand too. If you love animals, that's a great one.
Right. And what about Airbnb? Everyone knows someone who's renting out a room, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a popular one. Especially in touristy areas, you could rent out a spare room, your whole place, even just a parking spot sometimes.
Wow, there really is a side hustle for everyone. You've got me brainstorming already.
Right.
But before I get carried away, let's talk about the flip side.
Okay.
This can't all be sunshine and rainbows, right?
Right. There are definitely some challenges to think about.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of challenges?
Well, time management is a big one. Juggling a side hustle with a full-time job, family, friends, it can be tough to find the time and energy.
Oh, for sure. Burnout's a real thing.
Exactly. And then there's the financial side of things. Income with a side hustle can be really unpredictable.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
One week you might be making bank, the next, crickets. It can be a real roller coaster.
So you really have to be prepared for that inconsistency.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's taxes, something a lot of people forget about.
Oh, yeah, good point.
As a side hustler, you're essentially self-employed. You're responsible for tracking your income and expenses, setting aside money for taxes.
Definitely not as simple as just getting a paycheck and calling it a day.
Right. But there are resources out there to help people navigate all that stuff.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the why, the what, the good, the bad, but it's important to remember that all of this is playing out in the context of the Canadian economy.
Totally.
Yeah.
These pressures, these opportunities, they're uniquely shaping the future of work right here in Canada.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So even if we're not side hustling right now, how might these trends impact our careers down the line?
That's a great question to be thinking about. What skills are going to be most valuable in a world where more and more people are freelancing, running their own businesses?
Right.
And what kind of flexibility are people going to demand from employers? Things are definitely changing.
Yeah, that's a lot to consider. Feels like we've just scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
But I think you've given everyone a great starting point for exploring this whole world of side hustles. Thanks for the deep dive.
My pleasure.
And to everyone listening, keep those questions coming, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive. Until then, happy hustling.
Did we give you some good ideas? This is James with Net News Ledger. Subscribe for more.